Welcome, everybody, to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm your host, ADHD and Attention Coach Jeff Copper. And today I want to talk about it's kind of planning process, the thinking process. One of the things I harp on a lot on this channel is talk about the relationship between uncertainty and avoidance. If you're not really clear about something, you find yourself avoiding it or doing something else to be more productive. It really makes a lot of sense when you think about it. But a lot of times people with ADHD, they're trying to think their way through a process, and that can be a bit of a challenge because they see lots of different directions. What I suggest sometimes is that you work backwards. You think where you are at the end, and then you kind of bring yourself kind of back to the present. I remember one time I was working with an individual who was thinking about starting a business, and I said, well, before we write a business plan, let's do this backwards. We started to take a look at, like, what is it? Where would you want to have this? What's the price of real estate per square foot? About how many employees do you think you need? Let's just guess at some phone costs, computer costs. Basically, we went through and we added up. There's a restaurant, by the way. And we determined that, man, this is about what the fixed cost would be every month. And we kind of guessed, well, when people buy food, what's the average ticket? Now, it's not just one person. Like, you might have somebody buying for 2 people or 5 people. Sandwich, salad, drink, but we came up with an idea of what that would be. And we took a look at the items that would be sold and took a guess, well, this is about what they would sell for. So then once we had that, we had the average ticket amount. And so what we did is we divided the expenses each month by the average ticket, and we determined the number of transactions that needed to take place. And it was interesting because it was very clear based off of what we did with this particular person is that economically that wouldn't work. And we began to look at the variables, the real estate costs, and some of the labor type things based off that location were what the problems were. And then we made some adjustment. The point really is often people don't kind of work their way backwards to think through a process. They just go through it and struggle and or get off in on tangents. So philosophically, it's just a different way of trying something. So if you're struggling with getting through some things, I experiment around with kind of doing it backwards. Think about the end and work all the steps coming back to where you are right now, as opposed to the other way. Not everybody's going to have success, but some of you might. It's worth trying. With that, I hope you've enjoyed this. For our new listeners, please, or viewers, please hit our subscribe button. And for our regulars, comments, thoughts on this. Do you have your own backwards story to tell? We do what we do for you. We certainly appreciate contributions by hitting our thanks button. With that, we hope you've enjoyed this edition of Attention Talk Video. Take care.